welcome back to 6 and 6, where we cover 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. With that said, start your timer. We begin today in North America, where the fires consuming LA are still raging, with less than half of the remaining fires contained at this point. From BBC, quote, weather forecasts warn that the historic Santa Ana winds, which caused the fire to grow rapidly and explosively last week, will continue to influence weather conditions until Wednesday evening, with a red flag event in place across the whole of LA County. Fire officials have signaled that a large number of crews on the ground means that flare-ups have been more easily dealt with, and crews have managed to prevent blazes from spreading further, end quote. And we will touch on this story again on Thursday as more information comes out about the situation. Across the Pacific in North Korea, where the secluded nation has once again attempted to provoke its southern neighbor. From Reuters, quote, North Korea used multiple short-range missiles in its latest missile launch on Tuesday, South Korea military said, end quote. Some could assume this is a show of strength from the nation as its counterpart to the south continues to deal with the aftermath of its recent political upheaval. Next, we go south to talk about relations between Australia and Papua New Guinea. From BBC, quote, Papua New Guinea, or PNG going forward, will join Australia's National Rugby League competition after signaling a deal that obligates them to shun security ties with China. The Pacific nation has produced many stars of Australia's National Rugby League, NRL, and has been lobbying to join the franchise. Australia will provide about 600 million Australian dollars over 10 years to set up the team, which will be based in Port Moresby and compete from 2028 and help develop the game as at a grassroots level across the Pacific region. In exchange, PNG signed a separate pact which it says reaffirms its commitment to Australia as its major security partner, end quote. Meanwhile, in Europe, there was a massive strike, and there have been multiple protests that have broken out across the nation of Belgium due to the government's attempts at pension reform. From Reuters, quote, almost half of all flights in Brussels airport were canceled as luggage handlers, security, and other ground staff went on strike, while national train operators, the NMBS, said it was running only a limited number of trains throughout the country. Schools were shut down, with tens of thousands of teachers expected to join a national rally in Brussels to protest pension reforms that are being discussed by parties trying to form a new government following the 2024 June election. Government formation talks have dragged on for months without any real progress, as the 5 parties at the table continue to disagree on government finances and the contested pension reforms, end quote. Currently, there are no signs of the protests coming to a close anytime soon. Next, we go to South America, where in Brazil's state of Minas Gerais, there has been a heavy bout of rainfall that has led to multiple landslides across the region. From Reuters, quote, at least 150 people have been left homeless in the city, which is located some 750 kilometers north of Rio de Janeiro. The mayor said that the city has been surprised by the intense rainfall. Quote, there was no time for people to prepare, according to Nunes. At least 9 people are confirmed to have died in Ipatinga, while another body was found half an hour's drive north in Santa do Paraíso. Local media reported that 2 youths managed to escape alive from a house where 5 of their relatives died buried under the mud. The city's health center was also damaged by the landslides, Ipatinga's health minister said, end quote. And we finish today in Africa, where the government of Mali has begun taking more drastic steps to force gold international mining companies in the nation to regard their demands for a larger share of the profits. From Reuters, quote, Canadian miner Barrick Gold said it will have to suspend mining operations in Mali after the government seized gold stocks. Around 3 metric tons has been taken from the mining complex in western Mali on Saturday. 2 sources told Reuters on Monday that one putting the value of the gold at $245 million. In a letter to the Malayan government on Monday, Barrick said the seizure meant it would now be quote-unquote obliged to temporarily suspend mining operations in Lulo and Gankoto, the mines that they operate there. And the military government in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have all been seeking to renegotiate terms to gain a bigger share of mining revenues at a time when gold prices have hit record highs. Barrick said in a note to the Malian staff on Sunday that the government had begun enforcing an order to seize the gold and warned again that it may have to suspend operations at the complex over the long-running dispute, end quote. And if you want to check out any of these stories, you can find all the links to them down below that like and subscribe button. If you want to come back to the normal podcast on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes about U.S. politics. And if you want to check out the Twitter handle where I post the links to all the different videos, it's at Your Daily Flip. It's down there in the description as well. So with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe, don't die.